Meanwhile, in D.C., President Trump announcing changes to tariff plans when it comes to electronics. Christian Benavides shows us what the new plan means for tech companies and shoppers.
In a move that marks a significant pivot in President Trump's tariff policy towards China, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection issued new guidance late Friday, stipulating smartphones, computers, and many other tech devices will be exempted from new tariffs imposed by President Trump. The move is good news for big tech companies, notably Apple, which manufactures most of its products in China, including the iPhone. The new guidance also includes exclusions for other electronic devices, including semiconductors, flat panel TVs, flash drives, and memory cards, and is being called something of a retreat in the Trump administration's escalating trade war with China. The White House said Saturday the exemptions were made because President Trump wants to ensure that tech companies have time to move production to the U.S. China's 125% tariff on U.S. goods takes effect this weekend after President Trump raised his tariff to 145% and excluded China from a 90-day pause, setting off a roller coaster week on Wall Street. Late Friday, the president held firm on tariff hikes for China.
We're talking to a lot of countries, and ultimately, we pretty much can do what we want to do, but we want to be fair. We can set the tariff, and they can choose not to deal with us, or they can choose to pay it.
In other global news, the White House concluded a day of talks with Iran Saturday that included discussions of nuclear weaponry.
I want them not to have a nuclear weapon. I want Iran to be a wonderful, great, happy country, but they can't have a nuclear weapon.
Iranian officials called the talks constructive. Discussions will continue next week in Oman. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
The Trump administration's sweeping immigration moves were challenged by the U.S. Supreme Court this week. The court ordering the White House to work to return a Maryland man who was mistakenly deported to a Salvadoran prison. The president said he will do what he can.
I'm not totally well versed as to the specific case, but if they said to bring him back, I would tell them to bring him back.
The White House also announced plans in the U.S. Southwest. In an executive order, President Trump gave the Pentagon control of federal lands on the southern border. It includes an area called Roosevelt Reservation, a narrow strip of land that passes through California, Arizona, and New Mexico. The order says it would enable the Department of Defense to work on things like barrier construction and enforcing security.